Have you ever said something like, I didn't finish my work already? And then paused, feeling like something just didn't sound right? Or maybe someone asked you a question and you weren't sure if you should answer with still, yet, or already. If that sounds familiar, don't worry. You're not alone. A lot of English learners feel confused about these three words. But here's the good news. Today, you're not just going to understand them, you're going to feel the difference. And once you feel it, you won't forget it. Now, let me show you something very simple. Imagine this situation. It's 9 o'clock at night, and you send a message to your friend. You ask, "Hey, are you done with your homework?" Your friend replies, "I'm still doing it." Okay, so you wait for a while, maybe an hour passes. You check again and ask, "Are you done now?" This time your friend says, "Not yet." Then later, around 11 o'clock, you ask one more time, and your friend replies, "Okay, I already finished." Now listen carefully. These are three very simple answers, but each one gives a completely different feeling. I'm still doing it. Not yet. I already finished. Same situation, same homework, but three different moments and three different meanings. So instead of trying to memorize rules, let's do something better. Let's break this down in the easiest, most natural way possible. Let's start with the first word, still. When you use still, you're talking about something that started before and continues now. It's like saying that nothing has changed. The action began in the past and it is continuing in the present moment. For example, you can say, "I'm still working." This means you started working before, and right now, at this moment, you are continuing that same action. Or you might say, "She still lives here." That tells us she lived there before, and she has not moved. Her situation is the same. Another example is, it's still raining, and the rain started earlier, and it hasn't stopped. It continues now, so the feeling of still is very clear. Something began, and it hasn't changed. Let's make this even more real with a simple situation. Imagine you start studying at 7 in the evening. You sit down, open your book, and begin. Now it's 9 o'clock. Your friend sends you a message and asks, "Are you done?" And you reply, "No, I'm still studying." That answer shows that your situation is the same. You started studying earlier, and now, 2 hours later, you are continuing. Nothing has changed. Let me ask you a quick question. If an action started before and it continues now, what word do we use? Yes. We use still, and this is very important. You don't need to think about grammar rules. Just think about the feeling. Has anything changed? If the answer is no, then still is the right choice. Still. Now let's move on to the next word. Yet. This is where many learners start to feel confused, but don't worry. We'll make it simple. Yet is used when something has not happened, but you expect it to happen. There is a feeling of waiting. You are thinking, it hasn't happened now, but maybe soon. For example, you can say, "I haven't eaten yet." This means you did not eat before, and up to now you still have not eaten, but you plan to eat later. Another example is, "She hasn't called yet." You are waiting for her call. It has not happened, but you believe it will happen. Or someone might ask you, "Are you ready yet?" This question shows that they are waiting for you to be ready. Right now, maybe you are not ready, but they expect you will be soon. So the feeling of yet is very different from a still. With still, something continues. With yet, something has not happened, but you are waiting for it. Let's look at a simple situation again. You order food from a restaurant, you sit at home, and you wait. 20 minutes pass, then 30 minutes. You look at your phone and say, "The food isn't here yet." What does that mean? It means the food has not arrived, but you believe it will come. You are waiting. That is the key feeling. Let me pause for a second and ask you something. If something has not happened now, but you think it will happen soon, what word should you use? Yes, and the answer is yet. And here is something important to remember. You don't need to translate this into your language. You don't need to think about complicated rules. Just feel it. Not now, but maybe soon. That is yet. Hoy. Take a moment to compare what you have learned so far. Still means something continues, yet means something has not happened, but you are waiting. Already you can start to see the difference. And don't worry if it's not perfect yet. We're going to keep building this step by step. In the next part, we're going to talk about already and then bring all three together so you can use them naturally in real life. Just stay with me. You're doing great. And now let's move to the last word. Already. This one is actually very easy to understand once you feel it the right way. When you use already, you are talking about something that happened earlier than expected. It often carries a small feeling of surprise. It is like saying, wow, that happened faster than I thought. Like for example, you can say, I already finished. Like this means you finished before someone expected you to. Or you might say, she already left. Maybe you thought she was still there, but when you arrive, she is gone. That feels a little surprising. Another common example is, you already ate. This question shows that you did not expect the person to eat so soon. So again, the feeling is very important. Something happened, and it happened sooner than you thought. Let's make this even clearer with a simple situation. Imagine you have a friend who is doing homework. You think they will finish around 10 at night, but then at 9, they send you a message and say, I already finished. Now think about your reaction. You might feel a little surprised because it is earlier than you expected. That is exactly when we use already. Let me ask you a quick question. If something happens sooner than you think, what word do we use? Yes, we use already. And again, you don't need to think about grammar rules. Just feel it. Earlier than expected, a little bit surprising, that is already. Now that you understand all three words, let's bring them together. This is where everything becomes very clear. Let's go back to the same simple situation we used before. Imagine someone is doing homework. At one moment they say, I'm still doing my homework. This tells us the action started before and it is continuing now. Nothing has changed. Then at another moment they say, I haven't finished yet. This tells us the action is not finished now, but they are waiting. They believe it will happen soon. And finally they say, I already finished. This tells us the action is complete and it happened earlier than expected. Now listen to that again slowly. I'm still doing my homework. I haven't finished yet. I already finished. Same situation, same action, but three very different feelings. This is the key to understanding these words. Not grammar, not rules, just feeling. Let's go over it one more time in a very simple way. When something continues, we use still. When something has not happened, but we are waiting, we use yet. When something happens sooner than expected, we use already. You can imagine it like a timeline in your mind. First, the action is continuing, then it has not happened yet, but you expect it. And finally, it is finished, maybe even earlier than you thought. Take a moment to let that sink in. And before we finish, let me remind you of something important. Don't try to memorize rules. When you understand the feeling, the words come naturally. Keep practicing, keep listening, and keep going.